All right, so today we're going to learn about how we add and subtract integers with the same sign and different sign. All right, so let's start with the first one here. Let's suppose we want to add with the same sign, right? So so we're going to add, right? Add same sign, same sign, right? And let's start with, for example, let's suppose I have like 8 plus 4, right? Now, when we add two values, two integers with the same sign, we're gonna keep the sign and add the values. So both of them are positive, it's gonna stay positive here, and 8 plus 4 will be 12. Well, we know that 8 plus 4 is 12. And since by default, when we don't need to write positive value here, so we're just gonna, leave it. So 8 plus 4 is 12, right? What if I have, both of them are negative, right? Both of them are negative. I have negative 8, right? And I have also, we're gonna add it to negative 4, right? I have negative 8 added to negative 4, right? Now, if we add two values with the same sign, we're gonna keep the sign and we add the values, right? In other words, we just gonna add the absolute value of two numbers. Like for example, the absolute value of negative 8 is 8, and the absolute value of negative 4 is 4, right? So 8 plus 4 is 12, and both of them are negative. We're gonna keep the negative sign here, right? So let's take another example here. Let's suppose I have let's try to use the number line, to help you to understand this. Let's suppose I have for example, negative 3. I have negative 3 plus negative 2, right? And so both of them are the same sign. We have negative, so we're gonna write negative sign and we're gonna add the numbers, or we add the absolute value of numbers. It's gonna be 5. So the answer is 5. Now keep in mind that plus, and we have a parentheses here, and negative is the same thing as positive 1 times negative 2. Multiplication of the sign, and that will be changed exactly to negative. So this is the same thing as negative 3 minus 2 would be the same thing as negative 5, right? Now let's try to use the number line here. Let's try to use the number line here. Let's suppose I have the number line here, right? I got, all right, let me just erase this. So let's suppose I have number line right here, right? And I got here, I got 0, go 1, 2, 3. Here I have negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, and negative 6, right? So let's suppose I have negative 3. So I'm going to start with this. I have negative 3, right? I have negative 3 right here. That's negative 3. And then I'm going to add negative 2. So I will go to the left by 2 units here. 1 and 2, right? And I will stop right here. So the answer is negative 5. So this is how we use the number line. Another way, if we want to use money, for example, you spend $3,000. You spend $3, right, in grocery store, for example, and you spend another $2, right? So at the end, you spend $5, right? So you spend $3, right? So it's gonna be negative. It's gonna be negative 3. That's spending $3, and then you spend another $2, right? Another $2 here, another $2. So at the end, you spend $5, right? Or maybe you owe to the bank $3,000, right? You spent $3,000 in a credit card, right? 3K, and then you spend another $2,000, right? Another $2,000, right, in the bank. So at the end, you're gonna owe $5,000, right? So when you add two values with the same sign, whether positive or negative, you keep the sign and you add the values, right? All right, let's work with the case when we have different sign. No, addition and subtraction are connected to each other. When I say, for example, like six, right? I got 6 here, plus -3, right? Well, that's going to be the same thing as -3 plus 6. Now, addition is a commutative property, right? I mean, A plus B is the same thing as B plus A. So this is the same thing, right? I can have like -3 plus 6, and also we can see that 6 plus, like 6 plus -3, again, this is the same thing. This is the same thing as 6 minus 3, because positive times negative is going to be negative. That's why we have 6 minus 3, and the answer is going to be 3, right? The answer is going to be 3. But we can have this one, for example, in a number line here. If I have a number line right here, that's a number line. And I get, for example, I get this one. Okay, so I get this one here. I get 0, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here on the left side I get -1, -2, and -3, right? So I got 6 here. I'm gonna start with 6, right? I got 6 plus -3. So we'll move to the left by 3 units. It's gonna be 1, 2, and 3. So the answer is gonna be 3, right? And the same thing, I can start with -3. I can start with -3 plus 6. So this is -3 right here. Plus 6, I'm going to move to the right by 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the answer is 3, right? So that's so when we add two different values, right? When we add two different values with different sign, right? We're going to take the difference of both values and we keep the sign of the highest number, right? So to add numbers with different sign, we're going to subtract the smaller absolute value from the larger absolute value, and the answer has the sign of the number with larger absolute value. And we have to keep in mind that when we have like 6 plus -3 is the same thing as 6 minus 3. So this is addition, add, and this is subtract. And both of them are the same thing, right? You're gonna add -3 or subtract 3 is the same thing. All right, so I got this example again. Let's suppose I got 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2, right? Now again, 5 is positive, -2 is negative. This is the same thing as 5 plus -2. That's how you read it. It's the same thing. 5 minus 2 is the same thing as 5 plus minus -2. And since addition and property is a commutative property, you can switch them here. You can switch this one first and put this one here. So this is the same thing as -2 plus 5. So don't get confused. It's the same thing, right? This is equals 3. This is 3, and this is also 3. It's the same thing. You have $5,000. You have $5,000 in your saving account, right? And you spend like $2,000, right? You spent like $2,000, like 2K here, right? So that's gonna be, so at the end you're still gonna have $3,000 in the bank, right? So it's the same thing. Sometimes when we have, so again, when you add two values, when you have two values, right, with different sign, right, what do? We take the difference between 5 and 2. What's the difference between 5 and 2? It's 3. Now, who's the highest number here? Is 5. 5 is positive or negative? No, 5 is positive. So that's why the answer is positive here, right? Let me give you another example here. What if you have, like, for example, -9 plus 4, right? Now, negative 9 plus 4, we're going to just take the number. Forget about the sign now. We're just going to take the numbers here, 9 and 4. What's the difference between 5 and 4, right? We know 9 minus 4 is 5, right? Now, the highest number here is 9, right? Is 9 positive or negative? That's got to be negative, right? It's got to be negative. So the answer is going to be negative 5. And keep in mind, since this is commutative property, we can switch it. That would be like 4 minus 9 is the same thing. And you're going to get negative 5. It's the same thing, right? You can put this one first, then negative 9 is the same thing. Also, you can read it like this, like 4 plus negative 9, okay? Plus negative 9. So you will get the same thing because we have plus here. We have plus here, and we have minus. And positive times negative, that would be negative. Again, is 4 minus 9, which is negative 9. All those are the same, right? Let's take another example here. Let's suppose I have like negative 25 plus 5, right? And again, this is how you see it. You spend $25, right, in credit card, for example, and you have only $5 in the saving account. At the end, you're still gonna owe $20, right? And another way you can do it, I mean, you can take the difference. Forget about the signs here. All right, I'm gonna take 25 and 5, right? Now, what's the difference between 25 and 5? That's 20, right? No, 25 is bigger than 5. Is 25 positive or negative? It's negative. Now, I'm trying to ignore the signs here. I'm just taking the numbers. So 25 is negative, and the answer is going to be negative. What if I have this? So by the way, this is the same thing as 5. If I switch it, it's going to be 5 minus 25. It's the same thing again. So you're going to get negative 20, right? Now, what if I have this? What if I have negative 5 plus 25? What's the answer here? Now, again, we take the difference between, we're going to forget about the sign here, right? We take the difference between 5 and 25, which is 20, right? And then we see the signs here. Now, 25 is positive, right? Which is the highest number. 25 is the highest number, and it's positive, and the answer is going to stay positive here. And since by default, if I have positive sign, that's going to be positive anyway. So we don't have to write positive here, and that's going to be the answer, right? On the next video, I will give you more examples about addition and subtraction with integers.